Raider Nation, what in the world is going on with this team? Because honestly, I don't even know where to start anymore. Week after week, we sit here hoping for something different, something that shows us this team still has a heartbeat. But instead, it feels like the Las Vegas Raiders have just packed it in, thrown their hands up, and decided to give up on the season. And the worst part is, it's not just about losing games. It's about the way they're losing them. The effort, the body language, the energy, all of it screams that these players have stopped believing in Pete Carroll and this entire coaching staff. When you go out there against your biggest division rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, and you get embarrassed 31-0 in front of the whole country, that's not just a bad performance. That's a meltdown. It was like watching a college powerhouse scrimmaging against a team from a lower division. Kansas City did whatever they wanted on offense, defense, special teams. The Raiders looked completely lost, totally unprepared, and honestly uninterested. You could feel it in every snap. You could see it on every face on that sideline. And if that doesn't say we've quit, I don't know what does. Pete Carroll was supposed to come in and bring structure, energy, and leadership to this locker room. But right now, it looks like he's lost the pulse of the entire roster. This isn't a team that's fighting for its coach. This isn't a group that's buying into a system. It's a bunch of talented guys just going through the motions because they've stopped believing in what they're being told. And honestly, can you blame them? Every single week, they somehow find a way to look worse. That's not progress. That's regression in every possible way. Let's be real. This offense is unwatchable. I've seen bad offenses before, but this one might actually be the worst in the league right now. Chip Kelly was supposed to come in as one of the highest-paid offensive minds in football, but this playbook looks ancient. It's predictable, it's slow, and it's got zero rhythm. Drive after drive, it's the same disaster. Punt, turnover, punt again. It's like a bad movie that keeps replaying itself. No creativity, no adjustments, no fire. You could see the frustration on the players' faces. Wide receivers throwing their hands in the air, linemen shaking their heads, the quarterback just staring at the play sheet like it's written in another language. Meanwhile, Kansas City looked like they were playing a video game on rookie mode. Patrick Mahomes was in complete control. Every drive was a clinic, long, methodical, efficient. 9 plays here, 16 plays there. The Raiders' defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. It's almost like the Chiefs were showing mercy by not running up the score even more. It could have easily been 50-0 if Andy Reid really wanted to push it. And the sad part is, no one would have been surprised. You know what's even more frustrating? Watching Pete Carroll on that sideline, just standing there with the same blank expression, as if he's coaching a preseason scrimmage. No urgency, no emotion, no accountability. It's as if he's stuck in a time capsule from 10 years ago. The game has evolved, but his approach hasn't. Other teams are adapting, moving faster, smarter, more aggressive, and the Raiders are just standing still. Actually, scratch that. They're moving backwards. The locker room situation is boiling too. You can sense the tension. Players are frustrated, and the walls are closing in. When your top guys, your leaders, start showing that kind of visible frustration, that's a huge red flag. It's not just about one bad Sunday anymore. It's about an entire culture that's rotting from the inside. There's talk that some players have already checked out mentally, and you can see it in the way they play. Max Crosby, Geno Smith, Ashton Jenney. They're out there giving what they can, but when the rest of the locker room doesn't buy in, it becomes contagious. You can't build momentum when your foundation is cracked. And then there's the Jacoby-Myers situation, which just adds another layer of dysfunction to the pile. One of the few consistent, reliable players this organization had, and suddenly he's not on the field. We keep hearing it's an injury, but come on. You expect us to believe that? This guy's been a professional since day one, has done everything the team asked, and now, right after trade rumors start flying, he's mysteriously out? Please, that doesn't pass the smell test. It feels like Jacoby has had enough. And if even he's checked out, then this locker room is truly fractured. I've followed this team for a long time, and I can't remember seeing the Raiders look this lost. Not even during the Josh McDaniels disaster did it feel this hopeless. At least back then, there were moments of life, a spark here, a comeback there. Now, nothing. just a flat line. And the saddest part is that the fans, the most loyal, passionate fan base in football, are the ones paying the price. Raider Nation deserves so much better than this. You stick with this team through the worst storms year after year, and this is what you get in return. A team with no fight, no identity, no leadership. I get that Pete Carroll has had an incredible career, but there comes a point where you have to admit that it's over. 74 years old, trying to connect with players half his age, trying to run an offense that feels like it's from another era. It's not working, and the Raiders' front office refusing to pull the trigger on change is only making it worse. They can keep pretending that everything's fine, but we can all see it's not. Every snap, every press conference, every lifeless Sunday just proves it more and more. And let me tell you something, Raider Nation. This isn't just about bad football. This is about pride. This is about watching a franchise with decades of history, built on toughness and rebellion, turn into a punchline. When the Raiders take the field, you're supposed to feel fear, energy, chaos, that classic silver and black edge. But now, teams look at the schedule, see Las Vegas Raiders, and they circle it as an easy win. That's the reality. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. You can talk about injuries, you can talk about execution, but at the end of the day, the blame starts at the top. Pete Carroll has lost this locker room. This coaching staff has failed to inspire, failed to adapt, and failed to lead. The players don't trust them, the fans don't trust them, and honestly, neither should ownership at this point. It's time for a hard reset, because the longer they wait, the deeper this hole gets. And I know, we're heading into the bye week, and people will say it's a chance to regroup. But let's be real. What's going to change? The longer this coaching staff is in control, the worse things get. We've seen it every single week. If anything, more time with this group might just make the team regress even further. That's how bad it's gotten. The Raiders have quit. They've quit on Pete Carroll. They've quit on this system. They've quit on everything that once made this franchise great. And that's the hardest thing to admit, because once a team quits, it's not about strategy anymore. It's about soul. And right now, the Raiders are playing without one. Now let's dig into what's really happening behind the scenes, because it feels like everything around the Las Vegas Raiders is falling apart from the inside out. You can see it in the eyes of the players, you can hear it in the tone of the interviews, and you can feel it in the stadium when the team takes the field. There's no confidence, no sense of direction, no chemistry. What once felt like a brotherhood now looks like a room full of guys just clocking in for a paycheck. The trust between the locker room and the coaching staff is completely gone, and once that line of belief is broken, it's nearly impossible to fix. When you listen to the players after games, it's all the same recycled answers. We have to execute better. We have to look at the tape. We still believe. But their faces tell the real story. Frustration, disbelief, embarrassment. They know what's going on. They know this coaching staff has no answers. And when your leaders are up there trying to stay professional while everything burns around them, it's painful to watch. Geno Smith looks like he's lost all faith in the game plan. Max Crosby, one of the most passionate guys in football, looks like he's running on fumes. Even the young players, the ones who should be showing energy and growth, are stagnating. Nobody is getting better. That's the biggest indictment of all. Every great team has one thing in common: accountability. When things go wrong, the best coaches stand in front of the fire and take responsibility. But not here. Every press conference feels like an excuse parade. Pete Carroll stands up there with that same tired optimism, talking about staying the course and trusting the process, while fans are watching this same sloppy product every week. It's insulting. Raider Nation doesn't want sugarcoating. They want honesty. They want someone to look into the camera and admit, we're failing right now, and we need to be better. But that's not happening, and until it does, nothing will change. The Jacoby Myers situation sums up everything wrong with this organization at the moment. Here's a guy who came in, did everything right, never caused drama, and gave this team everything he had. And now he's on the sidelines, mysteriously injured, right after trade rumors start swirling. It's hard to believe this is a coincidence. Jacoby is a competitor. He wants to win. And if a player like that suddenly wants out, it says a lot about what's going on behind closed doors. You don't have to be an insider to see it, The body language, the silence from the front office, the lack of communication. Something's broken. And it's not just Jacoby. You can feel that several players are mentally checked out. They're frustrated, tired of the same speeches, tired of the lack of results. You can't keep telling professionals that things will get better when you show them the same failing blueprint week after week. Eventually, even the most loyal soldiers stop listening. And that's where the Raiders are right now. This isn't a team that's being outplayed. This is a team that's out of belief. It's unbelievable that we're even having this conversation when you think about the resources this team had in the offseason. 11 draft picks, a huge salary cap budget. And what did they do with it? Built one of the least competitive rosters in the league. And somehow it's not just about talent. It's about how badly they're being coached. The schemes are outdated, the play calling is slow, and there's no adjustment when things go wrong. You can't compete in the modern NFL with a playbook that feels like it belongs in a museum. And I have to say it again, Pete Carroll, it's time. Nobody's taking away his accomplishments. The man has had an incredible career, but this isn't working anymore. This is not the same Pete Carroll who once energized locker rooms and motivated young players. This version of Pete looks tired, disconnected, and completely out of touch with how the game is played today. You can't coach in 2025 like it's 2010. The league moves too fast. The schemes are too complex. The players are too smart. You need innovation, and what the Raiders have right now is the opposite. Even the fans who are trying to stay patient are reaching their breaking point. Raider Nation is loyal to the core, but loyalty has limits when a team stops showing effort. People are tired of watching lifeless football. They're tired of hoping every week that maybe this is the one where things turn around, only to get punched in the gut again. It's exhausting. And what's worse, the players look just as drained as the fans. When that connection between the field and the stands starts to fade, you're in serious trouble. You know what's crazy? This team still has talent. There are weapons here. There are young players who could develop into stars. But under this leadership, it's all being wasted. There's no system that allows them to thrive. Every game looks the same. Conservative calls, no risks, no aggression. It's like they're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. That's the death sentence for any football team. And now, as the trade deadline looms, we're hearing that Jacoby Myers might be moved. I think it's going to happen. The relationship between him and the organization feels done. The Raiders might spin it as a business decision, but deep down, everyone knows what it really means. It means another player has lost faith in the direction of this team. It means even your most professional guys are saying, enough is enough. And once that starts, it spreads fast. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Breaking news has shaken the NFL world. LAMAR Jackson, the electrifying quarterback who has been the heartbeat of the Baltimore Ravens, is reportedly leaving the franchise. The rumor mill is buzzing with whispers that Jackson could be heading to the Las Vegas Raiders. And if true, it would instantly reshape the landscape of the league. Sources close to the matter claim that discussions between the Ravens and the Raiders have intensified over the past week, with Jackson's name at the center of every trade speculation. Fans in Baltimore are reportedly stunned, struggling to reconcile the idea of losing a player who has been synonymous with highlight reel plays, improbable escapes, and a cannon-like arm. The 26-year-old star has become one of the league's most exciting figures, leading the Ravens with his trademark speed and improvisation. But behind the scenes, tensions about contract negotiations and team direction have allegedly grown. Could the move to Las Vegas be exactly what Jackson needs to chase a Super Bowl dream that has so far eluded him? Meanwhile, whispers coming out of Sin City suggest Raiders management is thrilled at the prospect. Adding a dual-threat quarterback like Jackson would instantly make Las Vegas a legitimate playoff contender, transforming the team's offensive identity overnight. Insiders hint that the Raiders have been exploring ways to rebuild their roster around a high-caliber quarterback, and Jackson fits the mold perfectly. The timing couldn't be more tantalizing. With a loaded offensive line and an array of skilled targets, The Raiders might be banking on Jackson to bring instant energy and excitement to Allegiant Stadium. Social media has erupted with speculation, memes, and heated debates. Ravens fans are mourning what could be the end of an era, while Raiders supporters are already daydreaming about Lamar-led comebacks and record-breaking plays under the bright lights of Las Vegas. Analysts are divided. Some see this as a high-risk, high-reward gamble for both sides. Others argue that Jackson's unique skill set might finally flourish in a new environment. Regardless, the chatter is deafening, and the NFL universe is waiting with bated breath for any official word. If this rumor turns into reality, it could mark one of the most sensational moves of the decade, a blockbuster trade that rewrites the narratives for two iconic franchises. All eyes are on Baltimore and Las Vegas now, as fans and pundits alike try to process the possibility. Lamar Jackson, once the pride of the Ravens, may soon be the spark of the Raiders. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.